This episode of ETC is brought to you by Batman Bad Blood. Click here to own it now. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Weekly Weird News.
Now, we've talked about Martin Shkreli a whole bunch on this show ever since the 32-year-old millionaire pharma bro had his company Touring Pharmaceuticals raise the price of the drug Daraprim, used by HIV patients to treat toxoplasmosis, from $13.50 a pill to $750 a pill overnight.
Yeah, the appalling state of American pharmaceuticals isn't exactly huge news anymore, though. And in cases like this, the public rarely actually gets to associate a specific person with their outrage. But Martin Shkreli is truly a special case, agreeing to numerous on-camera interviews during the controversy where he basically said tough shit and failed to exhibit even the most basic elements of what people would consider a soul.
Now, that whole story eventually pretty much blew over, except of course for people who need Daraprim to not die. But Shkreli eventually found his way into the news again, this time for a completely different reason. Last year, the hip-hop group the Wu-Tang Clan announced that their next album, Once Upon a Time in Shaolin, would be released as only a single silver-encased copy that they'd be auctioning off. And people who criticized this idea as stupid were proven correct when it turned out that the purchaser of the only copy of this album was none other than Martin Shkreli, who paid somewhere around $2 million for it.
Now, weeks later, Shkreli appeared to receive some cosmic justice when he was indicted and arrested by the FBI on securities fraud charges for allegedly running a bunch of Ponzi schemes across the various companies that he'd worked at. Except he was out free after just a few hours by effortlessly paying for his $5 million bail. It's now up to the courts to decide whether Shkreli is an actual criminal, not up to the court of public opinion. The actual courts.
But Shkreli isn't letting the fact that he's currently the defendant in a federal lawsuit keep him out of the public eye. Because ever since he was revealed as the owner of Once Upon a Time in Shaolin, members of the Wu-Tang Clan have expressed their disappointment, with Ghostface Killah most recently telling TMZ that he thought Shkreli was, quote, a shithead for his Daraprim price hike. To which Shkreli responded on Twitter, Ghost mad that Shaolin outsold his last 5 albums. Dude's a non-profit rapper. Calls himself Iron Man, but sounds rusty as fuck.
Oh. He sounds like a Wu-Tang fan, this Shkreli. When TMZ again caught up with Ghostface Killah, he responded to Shkreli's diss by repeatedly calling him the Michael Jackson nose kid and Pee Wee Herman, and making fun of Shkreli's smile. Shkreli then recorded a very bizarre video where he appears to fully embrace his supervillain persona, surrounding himself with masked men and then threatening to erase Ghostface from Once Upon a Time in Shaolin while sipping on a glass of wine, and also demanding a written apology, or else. He followed this up with a tweet saying, as mentioned in my video, I expect a written apology, Ghostface Killah, at least 500 words, no grammatical errors, and Shaolin will stay intact.
What is going on? TMZ Live got Shkreli on Skype the next day and tried to figure out what the hell was going on here, and Shkreli came off as particularly douchey, even for himself, insisting that his threats against Ghostface are dead serious, and he also showed off the Wu-Tang album that he's currently just using as a coaster. He also got a little salty with the TMZ staff for disrespecting him.
Yeah, it's like a very, very micro-sized version of the Donald Trump versus Megyn Kelly debacle.
What are you, a lawyer, Harvey? Yes, actually I am.
Yeah. At some point during all this, Shkreli also did an interview with Vice where he tried his damnedest to seem like a normal human being, riding around his drab apartment on a hoverboard, serving the Vice reporter expensive wine, and attempting to argue that Touring Pharmaceuticals totally gives away Daraprim for free to people that can't afford it. And, you know, just generally exhibiting the same lack of self-awareness he's basically known for at this point.
And then, it came out that aside from Shkreli's current legal troubles, rap beefs, and general public image problem, he also allegedly owes a ton of money to the esports players and coaches that he employed for his professional League of Legends teams. Yes, this guy has owned multiple esports teams, and they say that they didn't get paid once they failed to advance to the league championships. So just add that to the mix of things.
Oh, why are you gonna pay for losers anyway?
He's a loser. And
These guys are losers.
He hates Trump too.
Yeah.
You'd think he would love Trump, hates him.
Finally, Wednesday morning, Shkreli appeared on New York's The Breakfast Club morning hip-hop radio show for a half hour to try to show how much of a normal guy he was despite everything we already know. And host Charlemagne the God asked probably the most important question, why the hell do you want to be famous? To which Shkreli never really gave a straight answer.
Yeah, but the guy certainly likes to get on camera and talk,
Yeah.
regardless of how much he's hated. I mean, based off of his live streams, which he does often, and you can just watch him sit around his apartment.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird. It seems like he might just be a really lonely dude latching onto whatever social interactions and attention that come his way, good or bad. it's just crazy that everything that we just described, starting with the Ghostface diss and continuing on, happened over the course of about a week.
Yeah.
If Shkreli keeps up this pace, there's sure to be more internet gold for the foreseeable future, unless he ends up going to prison, which he might.
Yeah.
The whole thing's he also fired his old legal counsel. He hired P. Diddy's lawyer, who's also like Jay-Z's lawyer.
The whole thing just smells of him trying to like mess with reality and be really weird about it, even though he has all this money. Like, it's like he's living in a constant like fugue state or like a dream state where he thinks that this is just fine.
I think it's possible that there's like two Martin Shkrelis.
Yeah.
Like, and one's like the villain Martin Shkreli, the other one's like, no, I'm really like, I'm not that bad of a guy.
Yeah.
But like the reason they're successful is because he was able to work a 24-hour day by having the two twin Shkrelis like working shifts. That's one theory. I don't know. Like I
also like that on the Breakfast Club he was like, nah, I'm a real salt of the earth person. Like I grew up in Brooklyn in like a rent-controlled place. Like my parents worked so hard, and my mom's still a janitor. She makes $50,000 a year. You're a multi-millionaire. Why would you want your mom to keep working, you evil fuck?
Well,
just give her $50,000 a year and tell her to take a break.
He says that he's tried and she refuses.
Well, that's a noble woman.
He just walks this really dumb line where he like embraces the whole villain thing and like thinks it's funny, and that's where like the Ghostface thing comes in.
But on the other hand,
then he's like, why does everyone hate me? Like,
yeah, it's completely strange.
And he could have avoided all of this just by not like going on camera constantly, but he clearly like wants to be famous or infamous. I don't know.
It's very strange.
And
He wants to be in the hip hop world.
Yeah, he's trying to tiptoe into the
Well, okay, since we filmed all that stuff,
Yeah.
the Shkreli train continues. He appeared before the U.S. Congress's House Oversight and Government Reform Committee this morning, where he basically acted like a middle schooler in detention, being as much of a horse's ass as possible without actually breaking any rules.
Yeah, his response to every single question aside from how to properly pronounce his name was simply, on the advice of counsel, I invoke my Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination, and respectfully decline to answer your question. And each time, his childish smirk grew larger, just like the Grinch's heart.
Yeah. Representative Trey Gowdy of South Carolina tried to explain to Shkreli that half the shit that he was refusing to answer couldn't even possibly be incriminating, and he also brought up the fact that over the last week and a half, Shkreli couldn't seem to shut the hell up about himself to every news outlet that spoke to him, and had said how excited he was to go before Congress and make his case, but nope. On the advice of counsel, I invoke my Fifth Amendment privileges against self-incrimination and respectfully decline to answer your question.
Now, Representative Elijah Cummings of Maryland then basically scolded Shkreli like a disappointed high school counselor, telling Shkreli that he has the opportunity, influence, and platform to affect a lot of positive change in the pharmaceutical industry, or go down in history as the poster boy for greedy drug company executives everywhere. And during Cummings' entire speech, Shkreli just smirked and went out of his way to look disinterested, like a fucking child.
Yeah. When committee chairman, Representative Jason Chavez, concluded that Shkreli just wasn't going to answer any of the committee's questions, he dismissed Shkreli, and Shkreli exited Congress and tried to get into the back of his chauffeured black SUV. But then he realized it was the wrong car.
It was cute.
So he didn't get away with his ego entirely intact, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so the story continues.
Yeah, again, it's going to continue day by day. Please come on the podcast, Martin.
I mean, I think he says yes to everyone that invites him.
Unless it's Congress.
If you say his
name.
name.
Well, he goes to Congress, but then he shuts the hell up.
Yeah.
Anyways, here's headlines. There's a great one about a rat dying.
Yeah, we got some real good headlines this week. Tony the Tiger is getting harassed on Twitter by sexually aroused furries.
And the harassment is so severe that whoever is running the Tony the Tiger account started having to block furries.
Yeah. And apparently was blocking furries that hadn't even engaged.
Oh, pre-blocking furries?
Yeah, they were like finding furry groups and just pre-blocking them. And finally they put out like a tweet, because the whole Twitter account's written as if Tony the Tiger is a real person.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey there guys, this is a family-friendly account. Let's all keep it PG, all right?
Is that how he talks?
Let's keep it PG, that would be great. And then to make things even more confusing, the Chester the Cheetah,
he chimed in?
The Cheetos mascot also has an account that is written as if Chester the Cheetah is a real character.
Are they having conversations back and forth?
Chester the Cheetah jumped in and he's like, hey guys, I'm not gonna block any of you. Like, we can be friends.
We love furries over Cheetos.
It's so fucking weird.
Well, the weirdest part about this is that this has been going on for a long time before this. And we're not gonna show it here. We can't legally. But just look up Tony the Tiger Rule 34.
Oh, God.
And I'm sure it exists for Chester the Cheetah too. But Chester the Cheetah is a cool motherfucker. He's like the kind of guy that would like sneak you cigarettes.
Yeah.
Whereas Tony the Tiger is like a stand-up tiger.
Yeah. It's funny too, because like, this is at least the third time Tony the Tiger has been a topic of conversation on Weekly Weird News. There was that one guy who went to jail for bestiality for like a year before they figured out that the porn that he had was actually a guy in a Tony the Tiger furry suit getting fucked and not a real tiger. And then there
is a deep-seated obsession with Tony the Tiger and furries.
There was those weird videos like Tony's Back or whatever. Yeah. It was like fake Tony the Tiger commercials where he's like talking to prostitutes and like drug addicts and
shit. That's the thing is the tiger, I almost said the man. The man is so noble that he's a very easy target for these people. And I guess like if you're a furry, he's like the king to you because he's Tony the Tiger.
I mean, what? How are you supposed to do mascots anymore? You can't use real people because they go and rape kids and ruin your entire brand.
Exactly.
You can't have furry animals because the furries come in, they ruin everything. What do? You gotta have like the grimace for everything. You just don't know what he is.
You think there's a Joe Camel furry obsession or no? Is he too far gone?
Joe Campbell's not handsome and buff like Tony the Tiger.
He was cool. He was Joe Cool. He had the sunglasses and the cigarette.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Smoking's just not as popular anymore.
Tell us
Tony the Tiger's all about a balanced breakfast.
Yeah, vitamin D.
With a little bit of sugar.
You get the vitamin D. That's what they want.
Let's move on.
None of this fucking Cheetos bullshit. Police kick an opera singer's door after confusing singing with screaming.
And I mean, as a person who doesn't get opera at all, I don't blame these police.
I feel like if you're the next door neighbor, you know that it's opera singing, but if you're maybe 5 or 6 doors down and it's a bit muffled and you just hear the high-pitched banshee-like screams that you might...
It's probably like, because it was a dude, so it's probably like, you know, his normal singing level didn't really go through the walls, but those opera singers, they go like, they go up like that, and it sounds like you're being stabbed to death. I don't know. I've been to 2 operas. I didn't pay for them, but I've been to them. Fell asleep within 5 minutes. Just, it's kryptonite to me. I can't do it.
We invited this guy for free,
and
he's just asleep in the front row.
I struggled too. I was like, I'm gonna look like such a fucking asshole if I fall asleep, but nope, doesn't matter. You can't stay awake at the opera.
Just a bunch of hollering.
There was one I went to was a comedy, and like the parts where I did manage to stay awake, I was like, this is actually pretty funny. Those people 100 years ago or whatever, they had a good sense of humor. I just couldn't make it. Pepsi opening New York City hipster joint to make soda cool.
Finally, soda can be cool again. After all the work that Insane Clown Posse did to dismantle the cool soda industry.
Faygo was never cool.
It was very cool for people that lived in Michigan growing up.
Faygo's cool on a budget.
Yeah.
It's cool for your food stamp allowance.
It's actually a premium soda now in LA. You can get it.
It's in glass bottles. It's genius.
See,
it's all
they
about
made it
branding.
cool again too. Why is Pepsi hipster though?
I don't know. They're starting a restaurant. They're planning on using like cola nuts as like one of their main seasoning
cola
ingredients.
nuts don't exist.
Apparently they do.
Do they?
I don't know.
Is that where they get the flavor? From cola nuts?
I don't know. Apparently they also, Pepsi released a soda about like a year and a half ago. I can't remember the name, but it's like craft brewed Pepsi. And it's got a different name. It's like named after the founder of Pepsi. But it's literally just fucking Pepsi.
They went back to cane sugar. That was nice. But I don't drink soda anymore. It's too bad for you.
Unless you put a lot of whiskey in it, I ain't touching it.
99-year-old Florida woman wakes up to find sleeping Kinkajou on her chest. What the fuck is a Kinkajou?
It's the weirdest looking animal I've ever seen.
It's an animal? I thought it was a Pokemon for a second.
It could be a Pokemon. Because like, so apparently it's like the same animal family as like a raccoon, but it looks sort of like a cat mixed with a dog with a monkey face.
Where are they
weird
breeding
ass
these?
animal.
Who brought this into Florida?
It's like an exotic pet. I don't know where they're from originally. Africa, South America, some shit. But someone had it as a pet in Florida. It escaped, and after like a week on the lam, the Kinkajou snuck into the home of a 99-year-old woman and curled up in bed with her. And like, this animal is terrifying. Like, if you woke up with this thing on your chest, you would think there was a fucking demon sucking your life out.
Scared that she's going to die because don't animals do that?
She probably thought it was the angel of death.
Yeah, don't animals do that? Like when you're on your deathbed, like the dog will come in and say bye? Yeah, so there you go, lady.
If a Kinkajou comes for you, you're
who knows?
fucked.
I don't know how to read those tea leaves, but something is wrong with you. Anyways.
Bezo Doo-Doo Zoppity Bop 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 arrested for assaulting Evergreen police officer.
Is that Bill Cosby's son? Mr. Cosby, what would you like to name your son? Oh, baby da bop, boop, zippity bop.
So this person, whose name I'm not going to attempt again,
Bebop Zoozop Diddly
has been arrested multiple times. They've legally changed their name to Zoopity Bop, whatever the fuck it is. They've been arrested multiple times over the years, and it's almost like they like ending up on talk show hosts like lists of funny
It's like
headlines.
a Martin Shkreli thing.
I'm pretty sure like Jay Leno paid this guy $1,000 like, hey, you're breaking all these laws. Just change your name. You're
be
gonna go
hilarious.
like, it'll be hilarious. I mean, you can keep breaking laws and then I'll just talk about it on my show.
Yeah.
That's my theory. But
What's his name again? Scroll back down. I want to try it. Bezo doo-doo. Bezo doo-doo, so bippity bop bop. He's like the scat man.
yeah, maybe he's really good at scat. I don't know. You have to be a scat man in order to read his fucking name. Bezo doo doo zappity bop bop bop.
Either this guy looks exactly like Bill Cosby or he looks like Jim Carrey in The
No,
Mask.
he's a white man.
Like Jim Carrey in The Mask.
Probably.
Or Dick Tracy.
Anyway, he beat up a cop.
Oh, he beat up a cop? Oh, that's terrible.
It's bad.
Anyways.
A Bloomberg poll finds little support for Michael Bloomberg.
Well, that's just the name of the...
Even my own magazine doesn't want me to run for president.
I don't have any experience with Michael Bloomberg.
He ran New York.
Yeah.
Well, I think.
I think he did okay.
I don't
right?
know.
I haven't heard anything terrible.
He's really rich. He's like worth like $40 billion or something.
Run for president. It's working out well for Trump.
I mean, there's no cost to you.
Yeah.
Do it, whatever.
Pimp my ride. Hamas proudly shows off a tank. Turns out to just be a car. That's cute.
Better luck next time.
Yeah.
Hamas. Yeah, they're like, we found and stole this Israeli stealth tank.
Stealth tank.
We're coming for you, Israel. And
And
like,
then it fell over and it was just a car.
no, people like in the photos that they published to the internet, like people online like zoomed in, and you could clearly see like two little holes where car tires were sticking out of the bottom, and it wasn't actually touching the ground. It was just like made out of wood, not a real tank.
Wow. Embarrassing.
Yeah.
New York rat dies in freak accident just as her Broadway career was flourishing.
Yeah. So
It's an acting rat.
Yeah, there's some Broadway play in New York, and I don't know anything about Broadway. Apparently,
Anything that's high class entertainment, Elliot wants nothing to do with.
apparently everyone's in love with this Hamilton thing.
Oh yeah, it's coming here in a year.
But this is a play that's not Hamilton. Some other play doesn't star a rat. It features a rat. The rat, all it has to do is like walk out on a ledge and like kiss the actor for some fucking reason. And yeah, so the rat had been trained this whole time to do this,
And then it developed a sickening heroin
I
addiction.
think it was like sitting on a shelf and then something fell on it and it died. It's tragically cut down before it even had a chance to like debut, make his Broadway debut. So now they gotta train a new acting rat.
There's no way it died from something falling on it.
No, it did. It did. Something fell on it and it died.
That's so stupid. They train this rat all this time and it doesn't even die of like a. I'm sure rats have thousands of diseases they can die from, but something fell on it.
Yeah.
You would think that it would be pampered and in like a nice cage too, away from any kind of risk.
They weren't gonna cage it. This is an acting rat.
It had its own room.
It doesn't matter. They keep acting animals in cages.
I mean, I don't know. It is sad.
How much of what were they paying it in cheese?
Probably. I don't know. It's all very strange. But
Don't believe that it's only fell on it.
it was like on a shelf and then like
The rat was on a shelf?
I think it was like
Then what was above the shelf?
another shelf
No.
like lost it, like it came off its hinges and just like splat.
That's some fucking Magnolia shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like rats, bad things happen to rats.
Yeah, but they die from like eating something bad or
Too much pizza.
Yeah.
Ba-da-bap.
or something. Nothing falls on them, especially an acting rat.
Well,
They find a replacement. Is the understudy really excited?
yeah.
Finally, my time to shine.
Yes.
I was just over at Ratatouille and now I'm here.
It's dumb.
Yeah. They make him wear a little chef's hat.
Speaking of dumb animals.
Okay.
Ant Simulator canceled after devs blow crowdfunding money on booze and strippers.
Yeah. This one's gonna get covered on Tugs for sure.
Yeah, so
This is what happens when you fucking kickstart something.
yeah, Kickstarter is just gone.
They have no obligation to actually fulfill anything that they promise.
And so this Kickstarter was a few years ago. Kickstarter's actually gotten a lot better at this stuff.
Yeah.
In the last year.
It was a free-for-all before.
Yeah, now like your Kickstarter has to go through like a 3-day review process, and like people are like shocked by this. Like, wait, my Kickstarter's not gonna get approved immediately. It's like,
But
no.
I drew on a piece of paper
Yeah.
what it would look like.
No, because all these other assholes, like the Ant Simulator people,
Yeah.
ruined it for the rest of us. And
Yeah.
the coolest cooler,
Coolest
those
cooler.
fucks.
Yeah.
That coolest cooler is not the coolest cooler.
It's a piece of shit
It's
cooler.
a piece of shit.
It's gaudy as hell.
But yeah, so they took a bunch of crowdfunding money, and then one of the developers revealed this because like, he was in a business relationship with these two other guys. And he's like, "Sorry guys, it's not gonna happen." The eagerly awaited Ant Simulator will
Yeah.
not be coming out because my business partners fucked me over, took all the money, and spent it all on booze, strippers, and cocaine.
Yeah.
So I guess
I'm
I guess
very-
the world will have to wait.
Yeah, I think the world will be very happy to know
Man.
that there's not an ant simulator.
In the
coming out.
meantime, though, American Truck
Oh, yeah.
Simulator's here, and that's just riveting.
Yes. I drove from Las Vegas to Los Angeles. Actually, I didn't even make it because I crashed.
Yeah.
I missed the exit and ran right into
Now
the
I can relive my least favorite drive in the world
Yeah.
without even leaving my home.
It is the worst.
Great.
drive.
It's
you drive past the
awful.
world's tallest thermometer. It's garbage.
That thing hasn't been working for at least 10 years.
Anyways, check out our other content over here. We have a brand new episode of Tech Tuesday. We have a episode where we talk shit about the Fine Brothers, of course. It was only a matter of time before we went after them.
Yeah.
And then a podcast with Proximity. So check that out.
Check them all out.
Yeah. Bye.